Welcome everybody, I'm Omar Mansour Tuti. I'm almost 22 years old. Well, I'm gonna be talking about an important topic that we all need in our lives. This topic will help us understand each other and avoid arguments. But first, I've got a question for you. How not to let a calm discussion turn into a heated argument? Well, in life we sometimes have disagreement with people. This could be with your parents, your partner, or sometimes just a friend. When this happens, the most important thing is to try not to let a calm discussion turn into a heated argument. The first thing I would say is that the way you begin the conversation is very important. So imagine you're a student. I know some of you are a student. I'm a student too. So imagine you share a flat with another student who you think is not doing his or her share of housework. So if you shout like, "You never do your share of housework," what are you gonna do about it? The discussion will very soon turn into an argument. It is much more constructive to say something like, "I think we would better have another look about how we divided up the housework. Maybe there is a better way of doing it." My second piece of advice is simple. If you're the person who's in the wrong, just admit it. This is the easiest and best way to avoid an argument. Just apologize to your parents, your partner, or your boss sometimes, or whoever you were arguing with, and move on. You will find the other person will have much more respect for you in the future if you do that again. My next tip is do not exaggerate. You hear me? Try not to say something like, "You always come home late while I've already slept," when perhaps this just has happened only once or twice. Or you say to the other person like, you never remember to buy the things that I tell you to buy." This way will just make the other person think that you're being unreasonable and will make him or her stop listening to your argument. Sometimes you just cannot avoid a discussion turning into an argument. But if you do start arguing with somebody, it is important to keep things under control, and there are ways to do this. The most important thing is do not raise your voice, because raising your voice will just make the other person lose their temper too. If you find yourself raising your voice, so stop for a moment and take a deep breath and then say to the other person, "Well, I'm sorry I shouted, but this is very important to me," and then continue calmly. If you can't talk calmly and quietly, you will find the other person will be much more ready to listen to your argument. It is also important to stick to the point. Try to keep to the point you're talking about. So do not bring up old issues, or do not start talking about something else. For example, if you're talking about the housework, do not start talking about the mobile phones bills as well. Well, those were my tips. I just want to say one last important thing. Some people think that arguing is always bad. This is not true. Conflict is a normal part of life. And dealing with conflicts is a normal part of any relationship. Whether it's three people sharing a flat, or just a married couple, or just two good friends. If you don't learn how to argue properly, then when a real problem comes along, you won't be prepared to face it together. Learn how to argue cleanly and fairly. It will help your relationship last longer and be stronger. And just keep moving forward and let nothing hold you back. You LPB, leave it, breathe it, beat. It always starts with you. Let's get it. We have time.